welcome to JCBS Digital Learning Live. I am Russ Hockenberry, your Zone 3 Digital Innovation Leader, and I am joined today by Lincoln Performing Arts Assistant Principal, Mike Ice, and a group of fifth graders known as the Producers. So very cool. And can you tell us what the Producers are, Mike?
Yeah, sure. They're really an STLP group of kids, but I just formed a different name for them. There are lots of tech needs that we needed in our school, and this is one of them that we really honed in on. And I just decided with what we were creating, they should be producers, just like of a morning show that we run every single day.
And that's what's so interesting about this. We ask all the time from different schools, like, how are people doing their morning announcements? And they really want to go live. And so we always point to, we're like, hey, you should really see what Mike Ice and Lincoln are doing with this student-run producers he's got going on with using Periscope, and they're going live on Twitter. It's must-see TV. So it's amazing stuff you guys have to look at Lincoln. And these awesome fifth graders, they're going to tell us about what's going on with the producers. So if you are joining us on JCBS Digital Learning Live, you can comment in the chat, and you can leave questions for us. We will be checking those. But Mike and the kids, will you guys go ahead and take it away and tell us all about the producers?
Sure. One, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to share this. I think it's really important. It's super easy for anyone to do. One of the things that I did when I was in the classroom, it was really important for me to get the word out to my families, and not every family member can come into the building. So when I was in the classroom, we actually started using Twitter in the classroom, and my kids, when it was kind of blocked and things were going a little haywire about so many years ago, 8 to 9 years ago, they would tweet in a notebook here, and they would have to work on characters. They would have to tell the number of characters and how many more they had left, because at that time it was 144. And it was a way of an exit slip, and then it was a way of families being able to see what we learned in the classroom. And for that, I'm going to share just a quick slideshow here that I have.
And that was when you were at elementary, correct? Mike, you were at Dunn Elementary.
That's right. So this is in 2010. I was using Twitter, and I was live streaming to inform families about the school day. So we were working on Twitter, and we actually got picked up by the Associate Press, and it went. You can still Google my name and Dunn Elementary, and you can still find the article and the picture. It's quite funny. All these years later. But one of the things that I did in the classroom was I had a live streaming service called Ustream. And so my families could, in the classroom, it was double password protected, could watch the classroom, and they could, like, if they were having difficulty with a math lesson, or they were having difficulty with understanding concept, or they couldn't make it to a party, a celebration we had, they could log in and watch live on stream. And so when I moved here to Lincoln, right after Dunn 9 years ago, I wanted to do something similar. And so what I started doing was this. I was self-emoting everything. I wanted to do a morning show, and I found that Periscope was the best app. And here's why. Well, one, Facebook is blocked, and they didn't really have live stream at the time. YouTube really wasn't live, and there was no really other live service except for Periscope. So we started using it, and I used an iPad or an iPod to stream. And the goal was to give quick informational updates to families in live time, or they could watch it within a 24-hour period. If I felt it was really important, I would hold it there, because on Periscope, you're allowed to keep it for more than 24 hours. But as you can see from this picture, it was exhausting, holding up the camera and then making sure I was in frame and this and that. And so that's when I decided I wanted to empower my students here at Lincoln to be these producers that help me produce the morning show. And so what it did was it started this way. On the far left side of the screen is Millie here, and we started very simple. We had like an Elmo type of device that was on a cart, and we started streaming that way. So she was able to just be behind the camera, so that way it wasn't selfie mode. And with the help of STLP and the money that was provided, we then bought a tripod, as you can see in the middle picture. I have 3 students. They're all looking and working at it. And then we moved to having co-hosts. On the last picture on the right, you'll see Max there with me, and there's Charlotte. We had co-hosts that were helping me with the morning show. And the morning show is very simple. It lasts about 5 minutes, and it just goes over a multitude of things that one of my producers is going to talk about a little later. So I don't want to steal her thunder there. But it's an easy app to use. And again, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Charlotte, because Charlotte is going to talk to you about why we use Periscope and what's so important about it.
Quite often, when I film the morning show, Periscope was a way that we could connect to families who could not be there at school for work or other reasons and tell them what's happening. We film our morning shows, which we talk about daily events and what's going on. I'll go into more detail about that in a second. We also film our events and things on Periscope, which is connected to a Twitter account. You can watch it on our Twitter account. Right now, we have 478 people following us, which is not all of the parents at the school, and we're trying to work towards more people following us so they can see what's happening daily. We learned that we needed to have comments turned off for reasons of we don't want people saying rude things, and it has to be connected to a Twitter account. It disappears within 24 hours unless we do save it. The titles inform the audience, and the anatomy of a morning show episode would be we do the Pledge of Allegiance with a class if it's between Tuesday and Thursday, and then we do our announcements or celebrations, our birthdays, what's happening, field trips, and all that stuff. Then we do Miss Friendship's Challenge, where our principal, challenges us to do things weekly. Then we do our morning movement. We have a running joke in the classrooms that when we say, don't do morning meeting, they'll all go like this because Miss French has told them to do that. And to annoy Mr. Ice. And then we do our creek, and then we're done.
Yeah, I've actually seen you guys do those hand movements before to annoy Mr. Ice, so that's pretty cool. And so I've noticed some kind of times you guys go, you're in the cafeteria or the gym, like to start in the morning, but sometimes you guys are in the classrooms too, right?
Yes. On Mondays and Fridays, we are in the gym, and we use sound and our projectors and all that stuff on Mondays and Fridays. So it's really special when it's on Mondays and Fridays. And then it's really special from Tuesday to Thursday because we go into different classrooms every day and do it with the kids. They like to, it's fun for them to get involved in this sort of program, and they really enjoy it.
So did you guys all do this last year? Like everybody was on the crew last year?
Yes, we were all on the crew last year for filming things.
And you're probably getting the younger kids excited about doing this next year and the year after too.
Yes, definitely. That's a big plus about doing this. And we're like watching them laugh and all that stuff on camera. They have a lot of fun doing it.
Absolutely. So when you guys stream like the concerts and the pep rallies and stuff, what was like your like favorite event that you guys ever streamed?
My favorite event. We filmed our when we do K-pop rallies, when we get the 3rd through 5th graders excited about K-pop, and we filmed that, which is really fun because our teachers normally put something together that they think is kind of funny. They take a song that's really popular or take a show that's really popular and kind of change it to where it has to do with K-pop and how important that is to kids.
Well, and like my favorite thing to do is like watch you guys like on like Halloween, like as Mr. Ice and like Miss French Epps, like they dress up usually on Halloween, right? And so they always have some sort of crazy costume. You guys always have crazy costumes going on at Lincoln.
Yeah.
Your favorite artists and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of costume events. We have done Favorite Artist Day for National Dot Day. We do on Turkey Trot. We film our Turkey Trot, and Mr. Ice and his French Ups normally dress up as turkeys, which everybody thinks is very funny. And there's a lot of dressing up.
Very cool. Awesome. And that's your Periscope link there, periscope.tv/El Paso Lou.
I appreciate Charlotte for what she said. I didn't realize that K-Prep was her favorite thing. I thought it was going to be the pie in the faces because every year we get pied in the face during Fun for the Arts. We also have a staff runway show, as I was just saying, where we all dress up in different things. Our theme this year is New York Broadway. So we had a fashion show of our best and most craziest designs as we dressed like an artist day and we walked the runway in the gym. And you were asking about the classroom versus the gym. We do special things on Mondays and Fridays, the first in the beginning of the week, because we want to make sure we build that community. And so having us all together in the gym really builds that sense of community. But at the same time, we want to make sure we value instruction. While that is an instructional piece, we want to make sure we can do it also in the classroom. So my students, they'll get a great morning song going. We have this wonderful little morning show kind of blip, and then they'll choose an ending song, and they will get the celebration songs. They know the cues now. So when I say celebrations, boom, there's a celebration song. When I say thanks for and have a great day, they picked this cool song out that is that all the kids rush out of the gym with, where they're getting handshakes, hugs, and high fives. We do a smaller version of morning meeting, still with the same components. But yes, don't know where this cat eye thing came from, but now it is completely a running joke. And these kids, even in the hallway, love to make fun of me or make fun and try to get a laugh out of me with this. So we just run with it. Just like today with kindergarten, they still didn't know what was going on. So I was able to go, oh goodness, I'm glad Ms. French Epps didn't catch this, didn't know, didn't get this class. With that though, our next thing is that we really use our social media for a lot of different purposes. And I would really like Victoria to talk about that. I'm going to pull up the screen here. I'm going to share this if I can do this the right way this time. And share the screen here so Victoria can talk about social media.
Okay, so we use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in many different ways. So for Facebook, we use it so we can show pictures of our kids in our class, in every classroom of them like doing their work or something in their classroom. And we also do events happening at school. And families can also ask questions of like if they're confused of some sort. And for Instagram, we show pictures of kids in action, like probably for example, like in our arts classes, like bands, drama, dance, we can show pictures of them learning new things. And we can stories connect to Facebook and Instagram, but it only stays up for 24 hours. And kids can do fun ways for kids to learn how to create captions, which are really funny sometimes. And Twitter, we share and tag JCPS and important people.
Wow, so Victoria, you guys are really leveraging social media as a school. There are some schools that don't even have a Twitter account, so it's amazing you guys are doing all this on social media. And And like I said, Mike was a pioneer in JCPS of that with at Dunn with that sweet tweets from the classroom. So it's amazing what you brought to Lincoln. So
Yeah, we also have for Facebook mostly over 4,000 likes, and for Twitter 1,300, and Instagram 1,200.
And that has been, thank you, Victoria. That's been a process that we've been building on. And the main thing I want people that may be watching this is, oh, this seems like a lot. I can't do this. This was not something that we did overnight. It has been building over the course of time that we've been here. And really, it started with Facebook and really just using that as a powerful medium because most of our families are on it to try to share pictures. And while we know it's blocked in the district, I needed to find another way, and that's where Periscope was born. And I had already been using Twitter, but it just depends on families. Sometimes Twitter is still not something that families use. So I wanted to make sure there are platforms that our families are more apt to using, and Facebook seemed that way. And now, obviously, Instagram is a very popular social media app, and our students are not supposed to be on it because you have to be 13. But what I'm trying to do is teach them how to be great digital citizens. And so one thing that I know Victoria does when we're doing a story or we're doing a post is that the children have to take the picture, write the caption. They have to show it to me first before we hit that button. And I want to make sure that one, it's not inappropriate. Some things aren't wrong with it. So, we're working collectively together every day. And so they have a goal of doing at least one story and then doing one post or two stories. And they're learning how to use those fun features. But that has been a separate entity of using Periscope, which has been by far the best thing ever. And one of the other things we use Periscope for is when we do K-Prep deliveries. We know that this time of year, students are getting their scores, and schools want to find a way to celebrate it. And the way we do it is because we know not every child has a front yard to put a sign in. We decided to do it Publishers Clearinghouse style. And that means that we're live streaming when we're knocking up on a door with balloons and this big certificate, and and the kids don't really know we're coming. And so we're live streaming that. So kids are actually watching us on live stream to see if we're coming to their house. So again, it's been a build up.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's because you see those yard signs, and I feel like that was like something that started many years ago. I feel like Stephen Howard at Dixie was really early on that, but now it's like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool thing. But man, taking it to the next level, Publishers Clearinghouse style, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How you talked about digital citizenship. It is Digital Citizenship Week, and so all this stuff. There's so many digital citizenship lessons that you can teach with this. So it's perfect, Mike, Mr. Ice.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's a great way again to just little by little help students understand the social media world, because when you put a device in their hand, you're giving them the whole world, and we want to make sure that they're able to navigate it in the best possible way. So if I'm going to monitor and watch the best I can, and they're getting ready, they're trying to show the best parts of our school. And one of the things I love about Charlotte and my team, because this is their second year doing it, when we go to a classroom, I'm already in the gym, I'm working, I'm getting myself down, they know the bell, they have my script ready for me, they have everything written down for me, they've already talked to the class to say, these are the things that are going to happen. I literally just walk right into camera frame, they count it down, and then the show starts. And that has been a blessing in my part, because as an administrator, there's 1,001 things I have to do. So if it's one less thing that I have to think about, it's great. And they have taken pride and ownership on it. And we have now, just this year, we're creating Lincoln Leaders, which is what we're going to present at STLP. And we're expanding what we're doing. And that's where Stella is going to talk about it. So Stella, are you ready to talk?
I have one.
Oh, okay, Victoria.
So I also use Twitter or Periscope for the cafeteria to show it up for the people that aren't in the gym or their classrooms yet. I put it up on the screen for they can see it, just in case they miss it or not.
That's right, Victoria. I forgot all about that. Thank you for sharing that. So, we're split level. We have a gym at the top and we have our cafeteria in the bottom. Lots of our kids are just coming in off the buses because we have 17 buses here, and they're eating in the cafeteria. And so they're missing morning meeting upstairs. So something new this year that Victoria is responsible for is she goes and puts all the equipment out and she plays morning meeting in the cafeteria while the kids are eating breakfast. So they are still part of the action. I'm so glad you brought that up because I had forgotten about that.
That's
Our goal. Oh, go ahead.
Great. Excellent.
Okay, yeah, because our goal, again, is to build a community, to build that climate and culture. So if you're not in the building, you can still feel like you're part of our building. And I know that one of the people that watches us kind of daily is Dr. Polio, which is pretty cool to see him pop up, to see what's going on. Because I know he's a busy man. But I think we do want to move to Charlotte because she's going to talk about WOW videos. I'm going to share her screen.
You mean Stella?
I'm sorry, Stella. We're going to move over to Stella. And we're going to show about using our WOW video.
Okay. So what we do is the WOW video production is new this year. And so what we were thinking when we made it was, what if people can't understand what we're saying? Well, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. So, but WOW stands for Weekly on Wednesday because there's a WOW folder that goes out weekly on Wednesday. They it informs everyone about using visual and auditory senses. The video is sent to different social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, which are the I don't know about Periscope, but I think Periscope. Sorry, but we have the co-hosts talk about the top 5 things going on at school at that time, so that everyone can know what we're doing in case they don't have Periscope or something. Also, we speak it in 2 different languages, English and Spanish, so that everyone knows exactly what we're saying at all times.
Excellent. And so, Mike, maybe you can answer this. What's you have like a significant ESL population at Lincoln?
Yeah, we do have a significant ESL population, and the importance of that is sometimes our WOW folders it's a bunch of papers. You're not for sure what's going on. Maybe you can't read it. Maybe your child lost it. Not for sure. And so there's a disconnect sometimes there. We also send it out digitally, like we put everything together and send it mass email to every family member. But we looked at it this year as like, I look at Dr. Polio's top 5 that he puts out every week. What are the 5 important things that every family needs to know about that's going on in our school? And so we started doing it in English, and then we started thinking about, is that really representing our whole community? Is everyone being able to understand and enjoy it? And so we have been working with our English as Second Language department, and there are kids that now are translating it from English to Spanish and then back, and then auditorily giving it. And so our students are learning how to use green screen, which we've not used before, and they're learning to put it in their Google document, which is going to be part of their backpack success skills. And then we do upload it everywhere on every social media platform for everybody to see. So it's just taking 5 important things that every child, everybody in our community needs to know, and then quickly doing it. Because we are on the go society. We don't have time to just sit and look at papers. So if I can listen to a 1.5-minute speech, great. And so that is new this year, and we're really excited about it. We've done quite a number of videos. We're still working on it. And that goes into what we were talking about with our Lincoln leaders. We have a whole group of kids that are doing different projects. So that's WOW is one of them. My producers is another. We're looking at recyclers. We're looking at people that are rescuing food. We're looking at Paw Patrol, which are safety people. So it's under the umbrella of STLP, and then dividing it out. And I want to credit you and your team for being so helpful and being there anytime I had a question, because as you know, last year was really new to me, and I was nervous that I was not going to do it the way it should be. But I realized that there is no right or wrong way. It's about helping children understand the digital world, or just a project more, and being passionate about it. And so this has really blossomed this year, and I hope what we're able to share today will inspire others. And that brings us to our last one. And before I give it over to Miss Millie, I was in New York, and I got stopped on the street by a woman who put a microphone in my face, and her name was Katie, and her Instagram is Katie Makes Friends. And she was just the most delightful woman ever. And she asked me some random questions, but the way it made me take a moment to think about my day and just really assess. It wasn't just like what's going on in the world. It was like about me and what I'm feeling. And I really liked that. And I was like, how can I bring that back to school? So this is, again, something new. We've only done one video so far, but we're looking at student interviews. And I want Millie, she's getting ready and she's going to help talk about that.
I'm going to talk about the student interviews, and those are a future project for the this school year. Students will be able to interview up to 5 people, and the interviewer will use Ms. French's EPS weekly challenge, which Charlotte talked about a little bit, which is where she sets out this challenge, and like they're usually like kindness, or as they are this week, which is showing gratitude. And sometimes if it's like one of those kindness or acting words, they'll be like, this isn't just for this week or today, it will be for the entire school year. So yeah, and the interviewer will help students be little to all the way more comfortable on camera, because some students, when they're younger or older, they have stage fright because they usually haven't done that. I don't think a lot of students would have it because we do a lot of performing here, but some people do, and so it'll probably take away part of their stage fright.
So, Amelia, what are some of the questions you might ask a student on this? You know what this reminds me of? You guys ever heard of Humans of New York?
No, I have not.
It's a photo blog. Basically, what it is, the guy goes around, he takes pictures of people, just random people in New York. And like then he interviews just random people. It's just a whole thing of kind of like a slice of life. So it's like just everybody has a story type thing. It's pretty neat. But this kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. Every student has.
Well, and that's one of the things. That's one of the things we were trying to do, is because Miss French Apps has a weekly challenge. We have 26 weeks of challenges, and they range from showing gratitude, which is today, this week's, to using answer, because, and explain when it comes to like questions, or looking at multiple choice questions. So they range from academic to social. And so we wanted to check to see what's the pulse of our school, and do they know the challenge? Can they articulate the challenge? Which is, again, one of the reasons that we're working towards kids and understanding how to use the backpack defense. So if they can articulate quickly on camera with a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, being able to give that answer, that's going to help them, one, on their testing, their assessments, and also just when they're presenting, because we are a very special school and we have media coverage a lot. Some sometimes just it pops up, others we encourage it to come in, but they always want to interview kids, and this is one of the ways that we can get kids to be more comfortable on camera. And I'm so proud, Russ and the crew that's watching, of these 4 kids here, because they're just as nervous as I was about being on camera, and they were like, I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing, and I'm like, we will all do this together. And I think they've done a great job. Hopefully you can attest to that, Russ.
So let me ask you guys this. I know you guys have special guests on here. So can you talk about like who like some of your special guests you've had on your morning shows?
Yeah. So like we'll have we've had 2 over like the last year and this year. One of them has been 2. Well, we've technically had 3, but 2 of them were actually assistant producers. And we like showed them how the camera works, how we do all the sound working and such. And then one of us was Max, who Mr. Ice actually talked about. He was assistant
Yeah.
principal, so
Well,
how that worked.
and Miss Millie, I think maybe Russ is talking about like district people that maybe we've had on, or just in general, like our co-host type people. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, I mean, like, yeah, I know that Carmen Coleman has been on. Who else?
Right. Dr. Coleman's on. Obviously, Miss French Epps is on. We're willing to put anybody and everybody on at any time. We've had our PTA parents on because they want to share some things. We do co-hosts, and sometimes we auction those spots off the kids so they can understand what it's like to be a co-host, or they'll be what Millie's talking about is being a behind-the-scenes producer, being on the side. But what I'm really looking forward to is when these new applications come in, because it was application-based, meaning they had to fill out a form and then write a little piece about why they wanted to be a producer. They got interviewed to be part of this. This year, these 4 kids, along with some of my others, are going to now teach the new ones coming in how to do everything. So instead of me really doing it, it's going to pass on to them, and they're going to teach them. And I'm going to be able to work a little bit more on some of the newer projects. And that is an exciting part. And I think it's, as we've talked about before, you set high expectations for kids, they're going to reach it. There's nothing that a kid can't do. You just got to believe in them just as much as they believe in themselves. And again, I can't thank these 4 students, along with my others that have promoted on to 6th grade, for making this such a success.
Awesome. Yeah, and so we had a comment in our chat on YouTube from Katie Wolf,
Okay.
Klondike Lane Elementary, and she says she loves she loves watching you guys. Since she's been watching on you guys on Twitter for a long time, so she loves seeing you guys talk about this. And so it's something we want more schools to kind of do stuff like this. We want to get away from the old school, antique camera, in the library center type morning announcements, right?
Yeah, well, if this says anything, when our new facility was built, they gave us a broadcast room, and it had a blue background, and the next school that got a green screen. But they didn't give us any equipment or anything that went with this broadcasting. And I was like, well, we don't have televisions, we don't have this, we don't have that. What can I do to make sure that everybody sees it? And Periscope was the best way, because you didn't have to have the app, because I could connect it right to Twitter. And you don't have to be a subscriber of Twitter, you just have to go to the link. So every day, my teachers just go to Twitter, they click on the link, and then boom, there's the morning show that they can watch Tuesday through Thursday. And they can do it on their own time. We'd rather have it first thing in the morning, but we know some things happen. So it allows some flexibility there. But it's really important for us on the Mondays and Fridays, beginning and the end of the week, that we start our week on all together and we end our week all together. So I would love to. I'm hoping this video helps a lot of people, but if not, they are more than welcome to email me, check out all our social media. I'll be happy to even stop by and help them out, because I'm very passionate about this, as many are about all their projects that you all have been showing on this digital learning channel. So I'm glad I had the opportunity today to talk about it.
Absolutely. Thank you. So thank you guys for being on here today. This is a great show today, and we learned a lot, and hopefully JCPS learned a lot too. Thank you guys, but thank you Mr. Ice and Lincoln Elementary and 5th graders. You guys are awesome. Bye, producers.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.